pleased to welcome to the program Ashley Mahoney, co-founder of the South Shore Pet Food Pantry, to chat about that group and how they might be able to help you and how you might be able to help them. So, Ashley, nice to meet you, first of all.
You as well. Thank you for having me.
When I found out that there was a South Shore Pet Food Pantry, I had no idea, and I'm guessing a lot of other folks don't either. So I'll ask you if you could just tell us about it.
Sure. So it's based out of local food pantries that people may already know of or be able to access. So we source the pet food and then it gets distributed. So it started with Interfaith Social Services. They have the pantry shelf and the Weymouth Food Pantry in Weymouth, and we've grown to add Fourth Presbyterian Church in South Boston, the Hanson Food Pantry, Hanson Hearts for the Homeless in Plymouth, and we just recently added the Pembroke Firehouse Pantry. So that's how we distribute, and each pantry would have their own qualifications for how you'd be able to use their pantry, and that information is on our website. We do our best to serve any client in need, so even sometimes we get community requests or individual requests, we try to meet those as well.
So when did it all start and how did it all start?
So I met Kristen Clancy, who is the other co-founder, in a mom's group when our kids were really little. And we both had a background in animal rescue. We worked with shelters, we did we did fostering for animals waiting for their forever homes, and we were kind of frustrated that we were on the back end of things, and we thought, what if we could get upstream in some way and help people keep their pets in their homes so that they didn't end up needing to surrender them? And we thought that providing supplemental pet food would help meet the need where some families, some individuals surrender their pets because they can no longer afford to care for them. And so that's how it started. And when we reached out to local shelters and local pantries, they were really excited because they knew of this need, but didn't have the resources to meet it. And so it was a neat moment where things come together, and they were happy to partner with us. And that's how it started. That was 2016.
Oh, okay. And so since then, have you been able to kind of document some success stories, where folks have been able to keep their pets because of assistance from the pet food pantry?
So we hear all the time from clients through the Facebook page and through the pantries, the volunteers there, just how grateful clients are and how important their companion animals are to them, and that we have helped them in some cases keep their pets in the home. And also, we know that people share their human food with their pets, and that's not the healthiest thing for either of them. And so we have also added to the overall health. So we don't interact directly with a lot of clients, and we want to be respectful of their confidentiality, but we hear over and over again how grateful they are.
Sure. So how does it work? So you folks actually donate the food to the food pantries and then it's distributed from there?
So we source the food, and so we have a combination of donations from individuals. Sometimes corporations will do a drive. We've had schools do a drive, and we also partner with shelters, and they often have extra food, and then we pick that up. So we're basically taking in donations or taking surplus from other places and making sure it gets to the pantries. Pet Supplies Plus on Southern Artery has been a huge supporter of us. So we get help from a lot of places. And then in Weymouth, that's the only pantry where they actively distribute to the clients. So we have volunteers, and it's a drive up now because of health restrictions. But at Interfaith and the other pantries, their volunteers distribute the food.
Okay. So where is the Weymouth location, Ashley?
So that is at, you can find the exact address on our website. Would you like me to get it for you?
Please, yeah, that would be great. So we'd love to let folks know, where it is, when it's open, how they can access it, or how they can make a donation to it as well.
The sites for the pantries in Quincy, we have Interfaith Social Services. In South Boston, it's Fourth Presbyterian Church. In Weymouth, it's at the Old South Union Church in Weymouth. And then we have the Hanson Food Pantry, and we have the Pembroke Firehouse Pantry. And the Hands and Hearts for the Homeless in Plymouth has a very specific outreach to the homeless population.
Okay. Now, do you have a list of volunteers that you work with on a regular basis, or do folks just kind of come together each time there's a distribution? How does that work?
So Kristen is the other co-founder, and she runs the volunteer side of it. So she has a list of very dedicated volunteers. And so we have volunteers who bag food. So you take a large bag of food and break it down into what you distribute. She also has volunteers who sign up to distribute at the Weymouth Pet Food Pantry, and they've been amazing, so reliable. It's been neat, and people are also able to do it as a family activity. So a lot of children will help their mom or dad bag, or even for community service hours, and they can help with Weymouth distribution as long as their parent or guardian is present.
Sure. And I'm guessing you always need more volunteers to help out?
Sure. It's always good. People who care about this work bring a lot to our organization.
Yeah. How has the pandemic impacted what you do, Ashley? Have you been able to cope with that?
So it's definitely been challenging. I have so much respect for the volunteers at the respective food pantries. They have stayed open, they're practicing safety measures, and they're making sure all the clients get served. So we are so grateful for them. I just want to say that up front, as that keeps us being able to get food to people. We've changed somewhat how we interact with each other. So we will do contactless pickups. If you're picking it up, they leave it outside for you. And we've also just seen an increase in demand. So we've needed to source more. If you look at our numbers last year, by the end of the year, we had distributed about 10,000 pounds of dog food, dry dog food, and 6,000 pounds of dry cat food, and 5,600 cans of dog food and over 12,000 cans of cat food. And at the end of October, we had already met those numbers for this year.
Wow.
So, and we've also seen an uptick since August, and that correlates with the additional federal unemployment money ending. And when the holidays come, there's always an increased need because people are trying to make what they have go further. So I think we've seen protocols change, but people really stepping up to still serve our clients, and then an increased need for that.
Yeah, pet food is expensive, particularly if you have multiple pets in one household. It can add up very quickly.
And where people maybe can't get to the store as easily as well, they're able to make a one stop at the pantry, and they're not trying to go different places to get what they need.
Sure. I mentioned that you work with the animal shelters as well. Do you provide food to them if necessary?
So they often have overflow food that maybe they would not be able to use, or it doesn't go with what their shelter has decided to use, and so they'll reach out to us and they'll share what they have. I think it's just a community. You're always sort of looking out for each other, and you're moving stuff around to make sure you get the best use of it.
Sure. Yeah. How do folks either make a donation of food or money to help?
So if you go to our Facebook page, the South Shore Pet Food Pantry Facebook page, or our website, you can click on the links to the Amazon wish list and the Target wish list, and you can donate directly. If people want to reach out in terms of volunteering, they can email as well. I think that's the best way to do it. Or if someone wanted to organize a drive, in their neighborhood or their child's school or at work, and again, we could do the contactless pickup and we can distribute it that way.
Okay, so many different ways to help. Certainly, the ultimate goal, obviously, is to help folks be able to keep their pets at home. Right? It's especially these days. It's been shown that having a pet can lower stress, and they're really part of the family for a lot of people. I know.
Yes, we need that. And we've heard from a lot of clients, that their pet is the reason they get up in the morning. Their pet is their best friend. Their pet is the person they talk to. And they're a source of stability for children, too, when things are really challenging. So, yeah, we feel strongly that, especially under these challenging times, that to keep them in the home.
Yeah. How many pets do you own, Ashley?
So we have 2 dogs, a cat, and 2 guinea pigs. And our second dog actually came to us this summer, and he's been a wonderful addition.
Oh, very nice. It's an active household, I'm sure.
Well, I actually met my husband doing animal rescue. So before we had kids, it was a bit of a zoo. So now we have the 5.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Mhm.
Well, it's a little comfort, that we can have at home. I think that's we've realized is so important these days for sure.
Absolutely.
Anything else you'd like to let folks know about the South Shore Pet Food Pantry right now?
Well, check out our Facebook page and our website, and we hope you'll get involved.
Great. Well, hopefully we've helped to get the message out a little bit for you. Here at QATV, please reach out if we can be of any assistance. We'd be happy to do that.
Thank you so much. It was a privilege to speak with you today.
Oh, you're very welcome. Our pleasure. Be well.
Take care.